Hello, I'm going to show you how to use the transition templates that are included with the overlap script. In the first transition, transition 01 underscore layered bars, there are some controls. And if I click on this layer and click on effect controls, you can see what each one of these. First, I'm going to start with start point. And if I was to drag this start point, you can see that the transition start point is moving along with this point control. Same thing with the end control or end point. So if I now scrub through this timeline, you can see I have my transition moving diagonally. If you were to position the start point and some of the width was not covering all of your composition, you can grab this slice width parameter and just kind of crank it up until it covers your comp. So you can have it start from there if you want. Okay. Also, you have the ability to turn on and off drop shadows and control them with this drop shadow controller. So if I wanted to really darken these up, I could do that. And let's see what else. Okay, let's get some footage into this composition. So I'm just going to reset these to 960 and 960, 1080. Okay. And if I go to the project, I have a footage folder in my project that I'm using. I will not be including these with the template because I did not take this footage, but you can use whatever you want. All you have to do is select the footage that you have, then select, let's start with this asterisk, scene 1, replace me in comp. Anytime you see replace me in comp, all you have to do is just hold down your Alt Option key, drag your footage on top of the highlighted scene, and let go. And there we have a replacement for scene 1. Now let's replace scene 2. So I'm going to select it, and then I'll choose this flowing river footage, hold down Alt Option, and then drag it on top to let go. And now, if I scrub forward, you can see that the transition is working with my footage clips. So what I might do next is sample some colors from the clips here, so there's more color harmony going on there. So I could go to my color and transition controls here, click on effect controls, and then just use these eyedroppers to pick random colors in my scene. So I don't know if I like that green that I picked there, or sorry, the yellow that I picked there. It's a little greenish, but yeah, maybe a little brighter. Okay, but you get the idea. So whatever video clips you're using, you can sample those if you want, or you could go with just really bright, fun colors if you're doing something that is more in that style. So that is transition 1. So all of the transitions that have the replace me in comp, or sorry, let me find, so yeah, replace me in comp, behave the same way. So now that I have this one open, why don't we just go to this one next? That is going to be transition 8 underscore triangles. So with this one, I'll select scene, I'm going to start with scene 2, and I'll just drag this sunset clip on top of that. And then I'm going to select scene 1, and I'll drag the flowing river on top of that. And now you can see it's a nice way to reveal a new scene is this little triangle tunnel that we pass through. So in the transition controls, if you go into this effect control panel, we have the frame delay for the overlap, which was also in the layered bars. I didn't call that out, but you also have a position factor, which is a point similar to the other comp, where you can choose where the transition originates. scale factor as well, which would scale your triangles, and then just color controls, which would control each of these accordingly. So you could go through it again and sample your footage. Okay, now I'm going to go to one of the sliced examples. Any of these that have been sliced, I have color coded. So I have them currently. The blue label is for this overlap scene, and then I have the orange label for the blast frame scene. And the way that you would replace these is a little different. Rather than doing each one by one, all you have to do is just click on the color label and choose select label group, and that'll select all of your layers there. And now I can just drag, say, flowers and drop it on top, and now you can see my flowers are replacing the first scene. And let me do the same thing for scene 2. Select label group, and I'll choose another video clip, and there you go. Okay, and in another example we have here, we also have these label groups. This is a particular one that I wanted to point out, because make sure you don't replace these shape layers on top of the scene files. Only replace the ones that have the asterisks and scene, and it says replace me, because these are masks for each of the comps. So you just would grab this orange one here and then choose select layer group. Then I'm going to drag some footage on top of it, as we've done with the other ones, and there you go. So replacing the comp that I had in there. Then I will move on to 3D rings. This one is one of the transitions where you actually don't replace anything at this level. These are all set up. It's a bit more complicated than some of the other template transitions. You would just go into, let's say, scene 102, and here's where you need to go. This is because this scene, let me go back to the main comp just to explain how this is working. Since this is pushing back in the Z dimension, we're seeing a lot more of the comp, so the comp is a lot bigger than the composition it's in. So if I go into it, and then I go into scene 1, replace contents, this is different than replace comp. I would need to then go in and drag the footage into this layer, and then I could, scale up or whatnot. And now you can see the the video footage pushes back, and you get, realistic lighting and stuff like that on the different compositions. So just a little difference there in how we do the 3D rings, that you're having to actually go into this composition and replace the contents, and then you just want to fill the width with whatever. So okay, that's it. Thank you very much for your interest in overlap and in these transitions. If you have any questions, feel free to message me through my website, blastframe.com. Thanks again.